inheritance of Posal Nainar. அவங்களுடைய வழி வந்தவங்க இதெல்லாம் இப்பதான் ரீசன்ட்ல தெரிஞ்சது. அவர் ஒன் மிஸ்டர் சந்திரன் அவர் என்ன பண்றாருன்னா is taking care of the pujas of other temples also. So his family, entire family is devoted to our Swamiji, and they are having a Paduka also there. They are continuously doing pujas. And recently I have my new house, and for which he has conducted the puja for my house actually. So another thing I used to say, this is a temple when I visited for Annadanam, Shivaratri Annadanam. We have a lot of devotees who visited there, and we placed our Murti, Atma Murti, inside the temple, not outside, inside the temple near Ganpati Mandir, and we distributed food to the devotees. Thank you, we'll come back again.
Very, very beautiful. Thank you so much. See, the temples have taken centuries, generations of people sharing the same sacred, loving sentiments. Temples have been such a central part to the existence of our ancestors. Like Mamina was telling, these are in the news, no doubt. But they are in the news for almost the wrong reasons, right? They are in the news for the festivals that they say, oh, this festival resulted in a stampede, or they are not allowing certain people to go into the temple, sensationalism, and mostly there's a lot of envy. They say so many devotees came and the hundi collection is expected. Routinely you will see in the newspaper, Tirumala Tirupati experienced so many devotees and the hundi collection is expected to cross so much. Really? The deity is blessing the devotees. Which deity is interested to know how much is my hundi collection? So there is this kind of greed about the temple. But Hindus, we have this sacred sentiment, right? We always offer dakshina. We do not go empty-handed to see either the divine or the guru. When we go to see a guru or the divine, we either take something with us. It could be, next slide, it could be just a flower, it could be fruits, not that one, no? The Bhagavad Gita shloka. So it could be a flower, it could be a fruit, it could be just water, sacred water. We always take something as an offering, and that extends to offering money, and there are so many types of offerings that we do. So Bhagavad Gita in chapter 9, there is a verse in which we actually talk about the sanctity of sharing this. And we say it is patram pushpam phalam toyam. Anything that is, patram is leaf, pushpam like bilva patram, pushpam is flower, phalam is fruit, toyam is water. Anything that you offer to me with devotion, I will accept it. I will accept that offering from a pure-hearted perspective. And that has been the sentiment of all the Hindus, our ancestors, who built these huge monuments and consecrated them with so much divine energy, and they put all their time, treasure and talent, as Swamiji calls, in not only building it but also maintaining it and ensuring that it served its purpose. Right? So what is happening today? Why have temples become an endangered ecosystem? What we are seeing today is the greed to the offerings. Vilvapati Ayya has done some research on it, and we are just presenting 2 or 3 aspects of it. This is one in Andhra Pradesh, where they actually estimated that out of the total amount of income, only 18% of it is given back to the temple and 89% is redistributed, which means don't ask me what I do with it, is the version of saying we redistribute that money. So this is one article citing those numbers. Now, people who have done research will have many other numbers to give us. In Karnataka, they are saying that only 25% of the temples can run because the government is taking a lot of resources that are being given to the temple by the devotees. If we are not vigilant, we will lose this entire ecosystem. And again, I have another example from Kerala, where the richest temple in the world, Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple, it made headlines all along. See, I grew up in that town. My grandmother and my grandfather lived there. My father used to live there. I've played in that corridors. We have made all kinds of sand castles in the sand there. We have just rolled in that sand. We have enjoyed our life there as in my childhood. It is so unbelievable for me that people would actually measure the value of the temple based on what treasury it has. Because the worth of a temple, it's like saying, I like a person because of the bank balance. So we are reducing everything to an economic value and a number. We are foregoing the most important aspects of human life. Bilvapati Ayya, can you share some of the research that you have done in this aspect and give us some highlights about how temple money is actually being redistributed, endangering our own sacred ecosystem? So here are the 3 important questions we are asking. If temples are so rich, if our ancestors have invested time, treasure, and talent in it, why does it not flow back to the people now? Why are our archakas so poor? Why are people who are relying on the temple so poor now? Where does all this money go and how is it used? And of course, what is the impact of all these diversion? Yes, Ayya. Bilvapati Ayya will start by sharing some of his research in this matter.
Right now, I couldn't share the video, but somehow I will tell the things, the facts which we have found recently, Nama. Actually, in Tamil Nadu, as per the true value of the income, it's about some 10,000 crores to be realized actually. Whereas the so-called the department, see HRNC, in the religious and endowment department, no, which is appointed illegally by the government. Even right now, there is no legislative authority for this department at all. Somehow they are prolonging their, what shall I say, grab on the Hindu temples exclusively since 1956. Even the 1956 Supreme Court, Madras High Court as well as Supreme Court squashed the government order of engaging these executive officers or other officials for Hindu temples for controlling the Hindu temples. But somehow, due to the political pressure and other these corrective officers, no, this department is illegally being continued. However, as per the what shall I say, we have collected some data from Right to Information Act. One Mr. Ramesh, Ramesh, he is the president of the Temple Worship Associations. See, we has collected, put a lot of information to us, and just for 10, at least the income should be 10,000 crores of entire Tamil Nadu temples. At least some 38 to 40,000 temples are now under control of this department, whereas they show only around some 80 crores. 80 crores. Unimaginable. See, it should be realized to be at least, see, even 10,000 crores, even some unrealized income may be there, but at least 50% or 25% also it should be there. But now they tell around 80 crores. And funny thing actually, they show the expenditure of 120 crores, whereas the income is 80 to 96 crores, whereas the expenditure is 120 crores. Another thing, they charged about some 12% of the entire income towards administrative charges. Because they have constructed their own office, they are being paid by the money which is being collected in temples. The devotees put their money in the hundis. They collected that one. They misuse it actually. They abuse the money and they don't spend money for the temple in development. And another thing is, please.
One question I have, and it just occurred to
Please,
me.
ma'am.
If this is happening from 1956, how come
Yes,
nobody
ma'am.
has challenged it? How come nobody has taken? Yes, sir.
Yes, that is another question. It's a right question which we are still finding the answer. The thing is, even Mr. Subramanian Swami filed a case against this government order and all these things. What happened in 1956, while they put another order, something they have engaged, they put some 5 executive officers before closing the session, but by 1956, they unanimously extended the period of this, possession of temples till 1966, about some 10 years. Again, by the end of 66, they appointed 5 executive officers for big temples and they continued the processing. Unfortunately, as we do now, some of we are aware of these things, but at the time, Hindus are not aware of these things at all. Simply, they are devotees. We go to temple, we worship the God, we come back. Please. The thing is, nobody was interested or nobody was knowing about the temple properties at all at the time. Now we have got all the information. Of course, through the Right to Information Act and other resources, we are able to collect the informations. And now people have little but awareness of these properties and all these things. Funny thing actually, they even right now we've seen in Trichur temple, the collection of this one, Kapaleswara temple in Chennai, it has 305 grounds of land. 305 grounds of land, 2,400 square feet. Okay? See, 305 grounds. Now they're, pardon?
Can we
yes,
pause here a bit and kind of explain how much is it in terms of acre, first thing. And second thing, everybody would have this doubt, especially international viewers will have this doubt. Why does a temple need land? Right? Why is it important?
Yes.
So can you explain a little bit about that?
Exactly. Right. It's very, very right time to understand. You see, we have a lot of kings. At the earlier stage, the kings and the rulers construct the temple. And they took over the charge of temples and they give the preference to the temples first, along with the other facilities to the people of the country. Subjects of the country. See, while the temple, the king's dynasties were there, they were taking care of all the temples. And secondly, after king's dynasty, some important people, some VIPs, the landlords and the rich people, they took over the temple for good purposes. That is, they donated a lot of money. Even in 1966, there's Chettiar and all these things, Nagaratha Chettiar, all these things, they donated a lot of money for the welfare of the temple and welfare of the property, welfare of the people who are coming to the temple. See, only donation. People not only aware of the temple as their own land, own property, own house and like that. No. See, temple and house is not different for them actually. Say, they donated lots and lots of money to the temple and they donated lands, they donated cattle. See, another problem now, just we have come to know that around some 6,000 cows are missing in Tiruchendur temple itself. Very surprisingly, people donated cows to the temple. And this department duty is to take care of the cows. They should construct a gosala and take care of the cows. Now, as per the recent audit, no, around some 6,000 cows are missing because the people who are influenced the government, influenced the party, political party, all these things, they have abused the cows and took over them. And the local audit, so-called local audit also has given the concern that the Gosala was not properly constructed. It is not at all seen. Whereas the department put the reply that we have constructed a Gosala and take care of the cows. It's a very contrary actually. So like that, each and every point, this department has done their maximum, corruption in the temples actually. That's the main reason. Another thing, even for you told something about ground of the things. We used to say ground, that is 2,400 square feet per ground. See, 305 grounds is for Chennai Kabaleswar Koil, Kabaleswar temple. See, the market rate itself is around 3 lakhs per month for the temple, the rental charges. Even this 3 lakhs amount is, Indian rupee is collected from the owners or the occupiers or the lease, who has gone on lease, no?
I could interrupt for
enormous.
just a second.
Please,
just 1 second.
Please,
so actually, Kabaleshwara Koil is located in a central part of Chennai. It's the land prices are very, very, very high. The real estate is highly priced there. The 305 grounds is actually around 17 acres. 17 acres in that area, in that prime real estate, would cost a lot of money, just to put it into perspective. Yeah.
You're mute, Aya.
Yes, 3 lakh rupees per month. Now you can imagine for 305 grounds, what could be the amount? But they don't bother about the property at all. And unfortunately, these properties are being encroached or possessed by other than Hindu people. Part of Hindu people as well as other than Hindu people also, other religious people also. Now the department is not at all taking any interest to retrieve these properties at all. And hardly, not even 10%. Total property of the temple in Tamil Nadu, they are not retrieved at all. They are showing here and there something that they do, but it is not expected at all. It is not to the expectation. And unnecessarily, illegally, they occupy and they possess the temple properties and they do whatever the nonsense they do. And now people have come to, yes ma'am, please.
Let's stay with the purpose of the land that was donated to the temple. What was the original purpose? See, a king who is a patron or the queen who is a patron, when they donated that land, they visualized something when they gave that land. They gave it so there would be other structures that could support the events that are happening in the temple. They gave it so there could be food crops and everything that was needed for running the temple, they could run it there. So they gave it with the vision that it would be used not only for the temple, but also as a service to the people who are in the immediate vicinity or in that community. So it was not a single person's property. Am I right, Vilvapati Aya? It belonged to the deity, and everybody used those services. Am I correct, Aya?
The purpose of temple itself is not only worshipping. Yeah, exactly. See, the purpose of construction of temple itself, we understood very well actually. This temple is the main heart of the place where the people of the temple who are conducting their regular pujas as well as the local subject also should be benefited with it actually. And there will not be any famine at all. See, once the property is there and properly operated or maintained, there is no question of famine at all. We never see such thing actually. Only during the British people and earlier Muslim Mughal invasion only we heard about the famine and all these things. Before which, something about 1,000 years back, when Rajaraj Rohan was there, no, there was no such pain of famine at all. We never heard about that one. But these people have grabbed the properties and sold out a lot of things. That's the problem. Actually, we have a lot of properties of temples donated by the kings and other things. Please, ma'am.
So Vilvapati Aya brings out a very important aspect that we forget when we talk about temples, which is the security it gives to the people. When we run a temple, the way it is supposed to be run, as per the agamas or as per the shastras based on which the temple is built, it gives security to the people. It can give food security to the people. It can give security from famine. And like he says, there is no record of famine when these temples were run the way they should be run.
And if I could just say something here, Ma, the Kumbhabhishekam, all the kumbhas, they store the rice seeds, other sorts of seeds and grains that are actually released if there is any danger of famine. The famine didn't happen. A lot of it's very scientific because of all the mantras and all the chanting that happens. But that's also a reason why the famine doesn't happen, because they actually store food.
Store the seeds. So that's a seed.
As Swamiji told, no, Hindus are the richest. Hindus are the richest in the world, actually. Hindus were richest, even they are richest. If they are allowed to do the duties, if they are allowed to do the worshipping regularly in the temples, if the temples are handed over back to the Hindus, committing all these muds. Even another thing, muds. See, muds have lots of properties which they don't know in themselves, actually. There is no accountability, there is no accounts at all. There is no, what shall I say, administrative accounts as well as the responsible for the department. They never bother about the properties at all. Lots and lots of properties there, but there is no accountability at all of the department.
Thank you, Aya. When you told us many interesting and timely things that we need to think about. The first thing that as Hindus we should be aware is, as Hindus, we should care. We should care that our most sacred temple ecosystem is becoming endangered. We should really care for it, because it is not only a very important aspect of our life, but it is also something, it is a part of our heritage, and it is what our ancestors gave to us. So we should really care for it. And we are often seeing, then we might ask the question, why then is why is the news headlines? Why is this not the news headlines? Why is our news headlines something completely different? The next slide, Ma. So what we need to understand, and I think Sri Vilvapati Aya and Meenakshi Aya and even Ma Prematma Swami, not that one, Ma, the one, yes, Hindus should care. The slide which shows Hindus should care. Yes, that's the slide. Thank you, Ma. So why then why is this not so well known? Why is this not such a common idea? Why don't people know it like everybody knows a movie or something? Why is this not such a popular thing? It's because the press is often leaning towards the leftist ideologies, or they're often leaning towards English. When they talk about English, they say, oh, these are all superstition, and we don't want to encourage superstition. And they have all these anti-superstition laws, which basically suppress anybody who wants to practice the pure form of their religion. What do you think, Vilvapati Aya? Is this a correct, accurate summary of why temples?
Yes,
one of the reasons.
Thing, see, yes. One of the thing I told about the year and also 1956 and 1966. No, and unfortunately, these communist ideas of the central government, headed by Jawaharlal Nehru till 64, and later also in the Congress government, which is so-called secularism and all these things. So they didn't give importance to the Hindu people at all. And second thing, unfortunately in Tamil Nadu, The government formed from 1969, headed by the Dravidian parties. No, they never bothered about the Hindu worships and Hindu people at all. And in the name of, what shall I say, secularism, they supported the so-called minorities, and the people and the properties, the income from the temple properties are very spent lavishly to other people. And since they are in the power now, even the government officials, even the strict officials, even right officials could not do anything against the government, because the government is under the Dravidian party. See, they are not bothered about the Hindus at all. And rather they looted, countries looted since 1967. Unfortunately, this Dravidian party is still now acting in this Tamil Nadu now, and Hindus could not do anything. Even it is legally challenged and ordered by the Madras High Court and Supreme Court. The orders of the government was quashed. Even the Supreme Court instructed in the judgment for the Sidambaram temple, the Issues, no, they very categorically said this order is useless. Actually, it should be quashed. Actually, see, Supreme Court instructed, but the government didn't bother about at all. And now people, after this social media and other information, after forming this Right to Information Act, people have some awareness, and fortunately we have a lot of groups to fight for the temple. Temple Retrieval Committee and Hindu worshippers, temple worshippers association, all these things. Now we got so many parties and people who are really interested in retrieving the temple property. So they now go for with the government to challenge them, and until this HRC department is removed from the structure, temples cannot be saved at all, because they are in the power. Even they don't bother about the Supreme Court order. Then what else we can do? See, the apex body is the Supreme Court, and these fellows are not bothering about that order at all. Even Subramanian Swami could not do that after that. That is the problem. So strong people have a lot of awareness to ask the department and expose these things actually. And recently I studied an article in one temple, the entire Gopuram, right? Just now Amma told me about that Karpagram, no? That what shall I say? The Vimanam is gone. It is missing. See, you can hear about some, Murtis are missing, and what shall I say? Vahana may be missing, and the entire Gopuram is missing. And later, some days, no, the temple is missing.
Correct.
It happened. Simply because when I was doing some thing about this Muslim versus Mughal invasion, the Hindu Holocaust during Mughal invasion, no, some communist parties and other guys, no, who are supporting the Mughals, no, they written the so-called historians also, what history teachers, no, others, they supported Aurangzeb. They justified the Aurangzeb why he has demolished the temple. He demolished the temple only for the administrative problems, only for administrative reasons. Where is the administration? He demolished the temple and constructed a mosque nearby the temple. There is the administration. And at that time, no, there was no support from the Hindu authors, and whatever the Hindu authors wrote, no, it was not supported by the so-called Congress government, because they are communist based. Another thing, no, now one by one the statues are missing. The authorities are there and inquiring is going on. Now they are slowly trying to retrieve, but not fully. Still, we hope we could do better after having a new government only. That is the case in Tamil Nadu right now. And in Andhra Pradesh, unfortunately, the head of the government, the so-called chief minister, is not for Hindus at all. He is from a Christianity, so he doesn't support at all any Hindu. And slowly, one by one, as earlier told, no, yes, ma'am. Please.
So we have I'll just interrupt this for a few seconds. And we have a slide, next slide, no? Which actually shows the flow of the money. Can you explain a little bit, because you have researched on this, and the economics of the temple, how it is not only being used for something that it was not given for at all, but how it's being diverted directly and subverted into other things. Mark, can you show the next slide, please? So here is the slide which actually shows how the money is taken from the temple and it's redistributed, right? That's how they call it. They don't say that we are taking from the temple. They say we are redistributing the equity from the temple. Like, that's a very fancy way of saying I'm stealing, but they don't want to say, right? It's a very polite way of saying it. How, please explain this, how these legislations have been put in place to make it legal to steal from the temples.
Another funny thing, they see temple is not a company. Number one, it is not a corporate structure. And this is appointed by executive officer, commissioner, joint commissioner, assistant commissioner, all these. They have running a office and they have their own vehicle and other facilities inside the temple. That is another funny thing actually. See, we don't have any office inside the temple. Where God is there, where is the office? What is the city office? And simply they spend the total amount collected from the temple. They spend hardly 14 to 18% only for the welfare of the temple. And other things, that because once they come under the government, no, so-called the government. So this is a government company. It's a government organization. It's a government department. So the property of the temple also goes to the government. Now they say it is a part of the government only. It's a property of the government only, because government is operating, government is supervising. As per this order, no, HRNC doesn't have any business with the temple, because they are appointed by the government illegally only to supervise the or take care of the property of the temple, and they don't have any say in the worshipping or the regular rituals of the temple. They don't have any right to enter the temple for conducting or running an office at all, but which they do illegally. And steal, they steal a lot of things from temple properties, including statues and all this. They divert them and they spend money to, they spend the money to other purposes.
So legally,
vehicles for them, and
so they have established legal
right to
mechanisms. Sorry,
no,
I
it is not.
lost you.
I don't say it is legal because their existence. No. Here, see, the existence itself is not legal, ma. That is a problem. They are not supposed to enter the temple for interfering the worship. Do so, Kumbhabhishekam. See, in the name of Kumbhabhishekam, are you there, ma?
Yes, ma. Yes,
am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible? Yes, ma. Yes. In the name of Kumbhabhishekam, they remove the old structure. All this. The heritage, actually, the actual construction by the kings and our lords and other, great people by stones. And these guys, they removed the stone and they substituted with the concrete structure. They may be engineering, but it doesn't have any meaning in the total. And they don't have any requirement to remove the old structure. In the name of, say, reformation or something like Kumbhabhishekam and all this, they remove structure. Even I think Valli Gugai in Tiruchendur temple. Valli Gugai also is available in the Tiruchendur temple. It is over some 2000 years old temple actually. Temple in Tamil Nadu, one of the oldest temples in Tamil Nadu, Tiruchendur temple. Now there is a plan to have car shed or car parking area above the Valli Gugai temple. So what is the fun? There is a car parking above the temple. They are not planning that one, and there is a passage in the road and all these things. They are just using as a, what shall I say, some park, theme park. So temple is not a theme park at all.
Why is there
sanctity is to be?
No, why is there no way to stop it? Why is there no way to stop it?
See, after all, we can go legally. We can go legally. See, there may be some stay from the order, from the court to stop construction of this one. But unfortunately, even courts couldn't do anything against the government. That is the problem. The Dravidian parties have the what shall I say, enormous power in Tamil Nadu, and they restrict everybody to proceed with the temple properties. And unfortunately, the so-called Hindus who are in the government, they are supporting the Dravidian parties. They go to temple, they worship the God and all these things. They have all these formalities, but they support the government in looting the temple. There is no real devotion at all. And as if they have committees, parties, and political parties on these things, they don't. Even a lot of political parties now come with from Hindu religion itself. But they didn't take any strong step against the Dravidian party at all. That is the unfortunate thing in Tamil Nadu. Having known very well that this is something illegal and this is some atrocities done in temples by these Dravidian parties, people could not do anything. Now the time has come. There's a realistic one. See, after where can we go? Only temple, court. Madras High Court, otherwise the Supreme Court, the Supreme Apex Party, Apex Court. What else? We can go international level. Unfortunately, till 67, this Congress government as well as the Dravidian government has formed this illegally this department. Now still it is continuing in the same structures. Now, fortunately, we have some people like T.R. Ramesh and other Rangarajan and other important people. Now they fight for the temples now and expose and disclose their corruption and all these things very fantastically. Uman and somebody like that. No, they do a lot of things, a lot of researchers, and particularly Temple Retrieving Committee as well as Temple Worshippers Association, all these things. No, Worshippers Society and all these things. We do a lot of things. We try to retrieve the properties. We try to. Another thing, ma, in 1936, there was a record about the Trichandur temple. What are the properties available? That particular record is still missing. They simply vanish. See, unless you have a basic record to identify the properties, you can go and see that what is the position, what is the status of the day. But we couldn't get any record at all. The record is missing. Like that, one by one, for the records of the properties, whether it's a moving, immovable property, land and building and all these things, no, one by one vanishing. And
so basically, even the records that these temple existed and whatever belonged to these temple are also being erased simultaneously. So we are not only losing the ecosystem, we are also losing the memory and the history associated with it. Is that what you are saying, Ayya?
Some time back, you asked about how the temple can some properties. In 1956, he donated 1.5 lakhs at the time for the temple in Trichandur. See, you imagine 1956 1.5 lakh. What is the cost of it? See, very generously, people, see, irrespective of the status, they believe in the Hindu ecosystem and they donated voluntarily lots and lots of properties, money, cattle, everything. And unfortunately, even these people from the department are not able to maintain a Gosala. And we lost 6,000 cows. There is no record at all. Where are they gone? Whether they are killed or whether they are sent to Kerala?
Correct.
No. That's unfortunate thing.
So the way the temple has been used for other, the temple money has been used for other purposes. My next slide is recently when you look at how India is actually handling COVID. There is a news in Bloomberg magazine article just 2 days back saying that India is able to control COVID and spend all that money for COVID because Hindu temples are providing that money. Just think for a minute. How much more should we keep giving? Not that we don't want to share. If it is a share, then everybody is pitching. If it is a grab, then nobody is pitching. So is this a share or is this a grab? We have to be really clear about it, right? So Hindu temples are not only being so-called, also becoming more and more endangered because of these kinds of practices that are not being questioned by devotees. Always catch it after the fact. But this is not new, right? This has been our history. Next slide. Where we see there has been history where Aurangzeb, Ma'am Sushmita was talking about it, how he destroyed temples, and even Vilvapati Aya was talking about it just now, how these temples have been destroyed, and now the history is being rewritten as saying he was benevolent and he was actually doing it. Tipu Sultan, he just razed all the temples in almost the entire Malabar and um, the it's still called Sultan Bateri, and people are still trying to. He spared only 2 temples. He spared only 2 temples. He destroyed nearly 8,000 temples. And that was his military campaign, to loot every one of these temples. So we have historically suffered through this. So temple ecosystem has always been attacked because it had so much wealth, so much property, but also so much knowledge attached to it. Next slide, ma. And then there are these controversial news in the temple saying that we will not discuss the rights of people who are actually who are the devotees. We will not discuss those rights. We will not give them those rights. Ma Prematma Swami, can you elaborate a little bit about the rights of devotees in temples, or how can we reclaim our heritage in those areas?
Yes. So thank you, Ma. So as we saw recently, a year or two ago, the attack that happened on the Sabarimala temple, a beautiful ancient tradition that existed for centuries, that was a controversy was created. This is definitely a conspiracy in attacking an enlightenment ecosystem. A conspiracy was created saying that women should not, the tradition in that Sabarimala temple is that the deity, the main deity, Hariharan, the deity, Ayyappan deity, is a brahmachari, and women who are menstruating do not should not enter the temple while they are menstruating in between that ages. So this is the tradition which is respected by the not only the men, but respected heavily, highly by the women also, and women follow that requirement of the temple. But a controversy was created, an unnecessary controversy was created with respect to women's right. Who is talking? Who is asking about this women's right? Definitely not Hindu women. Women who are provoked, paid, Christians are entering and creating this new issue about having women's right, disrespecting completely the tradition that was created, which was an enlightenment ecosystem. Actually, I'd like to share this video where Swamiji beautifully explains how this tradition of Sabarimala was created for a particular purpose, and it is a specific enlightenment ecosystem that was created for the purpose of enlightenment. And Swamiji beautifully explains that how each temple is an ecosystem, an enlightenment ecosystem. And this tradition, this particular temple has a procedure. And he also explains that just few kilometers away, there is another temple of of the Lord Ayyappa where women can go. But this specific temple was created for a particular purpose, an enlightenment ecosystem where women are not allowed to come in. But this tradition was respected, appreciated, is respected by Hindus, including women. However, to instigate, to create a controversy, and to create a temple phobia, to keep people away from the temples, such controversies are created. So as Aya was sharing and Ranima was sharing, most of the Indian media is owned by Christians. So heavily such news become a controversial news and is projected in a way to create phobia about Hindu temples, especially now after this whole situation of the whole news that has been created. People who do not want to get involved in controversies stay away from the temples. temple. One, they destroy the enlightenment ecosystem, and second, they achieve their goal of keeping people away, the Hindus away from their own temples. So like this, they create controversies on all our temples, slowly destroying our practice of going to our temples, and also on the other side destroying the enlightenment ecosystem itself. So now I'm just going to request the NTV operator to please play this video from Swamiji, how he explains the enlightenment ecosystem of the Sabarimala temple and why it is so important to revive and keep that tradition.
Hindu tradition is the most beautiful inherited enlightenment ecosystem. But brutally, violently, we let that inherited enlightenment ecosystem to be raped literally by the invaders. Almost lost it and standing now as orphans. Every temple disturbed is a rape happens on that ecosystem. For example, Sabarimala Ayyappan temple. If the agama and the tradition, the sacred heritage says don't allow mensurating women to this temple, that's it. It is to keep that enlightenment ecosystem of that temple for which that infrastructure, that temple was created. To be kept alive, those principles should be followed. Crossing that is literally abusing, raping that enlightenment ecosystem. It is not good. It is not right. I uttered two words. It is not good. It is not right. Understand? In each place, deity is birthed. Means God is requested and prayed to take birth in the form of that deity, like Parandama has taken the Archavatara of Attivaradar due to Brahma's prayer. Then Venkateshwara, Srinivasa becomes Archavatara after he completes what he needs to complete with the body he was using. Meenakshi is birthed by the prayers of Malayadvajan and Kanchanamala. Whether Avatara or Archavatara, they are birthed with certain principles and set of agamic cosmic science cosmic principles. Understand? Treating them so cheaply, so lightly.
To wake up in Brahma Muhurta.
is violating the divine rights of the deity. And please understand, just like animalating the divine rights of the deity, animal-human conflicts happening in all the forest border villages. See, these forest border villages, if the humans cross understanding they have with animals, animals will cross the understanding they have with human beings. Understanding, this is the border, I will not cross this, you don't cross this. As long as we maintain our understandings, they also maintain. The conflicts will not be there. But when we cross, they cross, and then after that, once we cross and they cross and the conflict starts, nothing goes logically. It's all then war, runs into riot. Then it becomes survival. Whether you kill the animal first or animal kills you the first. Understand, we are getting into that kind of a human divine conflict, which is not right. The greatest thing India has is Hindu energy centers, Shakti Peethas, enlightenment ecosystems gifted by great Hindu incarnations, sages, saints, rishis, munis. Anti-Hindu forces are let loose, and the way they are raping these enlightenment ecosystems is leading to human divine conflicts. We all know man-animal conflict. What happens in this border, forest border district and villages, how the elephant enters into the village and villages try to enter into the forest for killing animals for various reasons, whether it's for various reasons. Invading the sacred is neither good nor right.
Not just a structure, right? To all of us, temples are living entities. They connect us with gods. They connect us with the divine, and we are also in the place of healing. So temples, where there are temples, we do not need hospitals. Where there are temples, we do not need schools, because everything can be learned by practice, by memory, or by power manifesting. Right? So it is a place where art flourishes. It is a place where you learn the ultimate way to live with Satvik Ananda. You learn so many things by just being a part of the temple. And Swamiji says, he himself is born in such an ecosystem in Tiruvannamalai. I think there are two people who have actually visited that place, Prematma Swami and Sri Vilvapati. So, so I would request both of them to actually share their vision and what they have experienced in Tiruvannamalai. That's a wonderful ecosystem that is built around the temples, and it just feeds all these aspects. Swamiji said he learned everything he needed for his enlightenment, for his living, his art, his everything he learned in temple, including yoga, right? He talks about how he learned yoga there, how he met the Arunagiri Yogeshwara, all those experiences. Who can forget all those narrations that Swamiji has given us? Swami Onnuda moments, right? Amazing experiences that Swamiji had. Everything was around and in the temple. So a temple actually gives you everything you need in your life. Yes, ma. Prematma and Sri Vilvapati Ayya will share their experiences about that ecosystem, having visited it and having lived there and worked there. I think they should give us some first-hand feedback on what they experience when they go there, knowing our beloved Swamiji's association with the Tiruvannamalai ecosystem. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Ma. Actually, anything I know of Tiruvannamalai is only through Swamiji. And of course, few visits that we've had there. And Swamiji always, beautifully talks about his experiences in this Tiruvannamalai enlightenment ecosystem of many temples of Paramashiva. In Tiruvarur, if you're born, you attain mukti. In Varanasi, when you leave your body, you attain mukti. But Arunachala, if you just remember, you attain mukti. So it is such a beautiful enlightenment ecosystem that how an ecosystem, like definitely only through the life, the biography of Swamiji's life, we learn that what an incarnation it has created and a gift that it is given to the world. Of course, now the situation, explain how when Swamiji grew up, he was completely living 24/7 in the temple, doing the sevas there, groomed by enlightened masters. It is just such a beautiful an enlightenment ecosystem, how it is supposed to be. And visiting there and seeing those places of where Swamiji did yoga, and the whole temple ambience, it is just such a beautiful experience, Ma. So I'm just going to request Vilvapati Ayya to expand more on the Tiruvannamalai enlightenment ecosystem itself.
We learned from Swamiji a lot about Tiruvannamalai, more than what we know, Ma. Actually, when I visited first time in 1984, Tiruvannamalai, and that was my first visit to Tiruvannamalai to attend a function, and I had an opportunity to go to temple also, right? See, for having a visit of the temple around, you have to know, you have to learn what is what inside the temple actually. Such a very big temple that I'm constructed at the time, and Swamiji is part and parcel of the temple. Swamiji is part and parcel of the Arunachala. And we had a round actually, we couldn't complete the round. See, such a large temple, we couldn't do actually entire visit or entire, places actually. And another thing, I had a very interesting experience where we attended Swamiji Satsang in Tiruvannamalai, in the Adiram. At the time, we saw lots of trees also there for each and every star. No? I think all the 27 stars, there are trees are also planted there. No? So we visited and we saw the Abhishekam also, main linga and all this. And after completing the Swamiji Satsang, we were about to leave the place. And there in the stall, I purchased 15 Jivanmukti books. You know the size of the book? And just like that, I purchased 15 books to 20 days. 15 books I purchased, I didn't know how to carry that one. I was only guy. I didn't have any bag at all with me. So simply paid money and got the books. Now I was blinking how to carry these books, and no, you know that there is no conveyance at all. After finishing, there is no conveyance from the Adinam or our Adinam to city. I have to go by auto rickshaw, all these things. Even for auto rickshaw, I have to go at least 2 kilometers. So Adiyannamalai, I have to reach that. There only autos are available, auto rickshaws are available. So I was blinking about seeing here and there, and entered the stage now. Near the stage, the first compartment now. There is a seat, a chair on which there is a bag, huge bag, something like a big bag. We used to say, no, big shopper bag. At the time, we used to say big shopper bag. It's a big size bag. I was thinking somebody has by mistake left the bag, so I should not take it out. I was waiting for at least half an hour. Somebody would come back and take the bag. Nobody came back. So I prayed, Swamiji, what should I do? I should go back with the books only. So it was my commitment. I had to donate the books. It was not for selling it, so it has to be donated to devotees and non-devotees. So with the praying of with the Swamiji, I took the bag, the big shopper bag, and got it. And my wife so told immediately when I said, narrated the things, Vijayalakshmi, and you are blessed to have the bag to carry those books. Swamiji will not leave you at all. It is only Leela of Swamiji. You got the book, you know. Nobody climbed that one. So he got the bag, and somehow I came to the gate with the luggage. There was no conveyance. And one guy voluntarily came there. He asked me, Aya, where to go? No, I have to catch auto. Well, auto come here? No, auto, you have to go to Adiyannamalai only, at least 2 kilometers. So he took me on his bike with the luggage. So I reached Adiyannamalai, and thereafter I go to Vastashmat. See, these little things, but we couldn't imagine at all. Some sort of things we imagined very big and or something is not sortable at all. But now I realized that Leela of Swamiji, and I was blessed to have such work and got the books safely to my town. And as far as the Tiruvannamalai town now, we have celebrated Swamiji's Jayanti. Very gladly, I think Ma remembers the occasion. We had a very huge procession. Could never seen that at all. Could have never seen that at all. It is something more than a political party procession. Such a big procession we participated, enjoyed a lot along with Swamiji, and Swamiji came along. And later, we used to see whenever we plan, we are asked to come there, we engage 2 buses at least from Ponneri. Ponneri, you remember, Swamiji after given his discourse on Bhagavad Gita in Chennai city, about some 10,000 to 20,000 people attended the time. And later he accepted, he blessed us to have his discourse in Ponneri on Engineering College. Just our devotees arranged have Swamiji to deliver his Bhagavad Gita discourse. So there was another place we are very fortunate enough to be there. We are hardly there are about some 2,400 people. And Swamiji also commented very jovially, I am here to deliver you, whether it is 2,400 or 20,400, like that. So we enjoyed that also. He never, I think, he will leave us there in Ponneri. I was there in Ponneri for some time, for 18 years for my professional purpose. So whenever we have a plan to go to Tiruvannamalai, we engage 2 buses from Ponneri. At late night, we start from Ponneri, reach Tiruvannamalai, had our routine, and attend the program from morning down to dusk.
Very beautiful sharing. Very beautiful
Fantastic.
sharing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very beautiful sharing. One thing I want all of us to kind of reflect on is how much Swamiji is trying to give this experience to all of us. He's giving this to us through the e-ecosystem, right? E-KAILASA. Masushmita was talking a little bit about it. Masushmita, why don't you share what you were sharing with us during our discussion? Ma, you are muted, Ma.
Yes, Ma, thank you. So, like as you mentioned that KAILASA, So from early morning, from our Brahma Muhurta time to whole day, even before we go to bed, all we are doing this KAILASA ecosystem, right? All this yoga pada, kriya pada, charya pada, and jnana pada, even the power manifestation, that is also happening in in virtual, like as a KAILASA. So as I mentioned earlier, that different kind of aspects having a temple, like various temples. One where we do our eternal puja, it's in our home temple. And once we go outside, like our temple in say so-called it's a building, like there also we bring people and invite people to have the experience the ritual, all the ritual we do. So even though sitting in this pandemic situation, we don't feel that we are not going to the temple just because of Swamiji. He initiated us and he encouraging us all the time to have the temple, build the Kailasa conscious ecosystem. So like we all of us sitting every day and discussing everything. So I and also like the Hinduism knows the science of giving birth to the deities. So once you go there, whether it is outside or eternal, if you just sit even in front of Swamiji's Atma Murti and all the deities which you have at your home, if you sit and connect with them, they will give the response because they are continuous and spontaneous, that the feeling connection you have with the deities, it's so amazing. Like, so I feel like all about you have to practice, you have to do by your own hand, so that you can experience that the deities are not just a stone, they are
Also,
the conscious transmitter.
also, Ma, Sushmita, it just reminds me, Swamiji always tells us, Uttare Atmanam Avasadayet. We can raise ourselves by ourselves. And
Yes.
simple things to connect with the divine will keep us in that high energy space. It will remove powerlessness from us. Even our home temple, we should not think of it as something very light. Even if Swamiji has given us padukas, and our home temple only has padukas, and we are still doing it, you can be assured that Swamiji is still there with us. So many people I've been told, sometimes they ask me, I don't have this murti, so is it still considered a temple? If you are doing Shiva Puja and Guru Puja, your home is a temple.
Ma,
It's up to us.
from my experience, like I don't have paduka, right? So I printed Swamiji's photo, like his face, and I visualize him that he's there and I'm worshipping at his lotus feet. And then that how I started my first paduka puja. And the second thing is I would like to mention here, before Swamiji, I also used to do puja, but after the Atmalinga initiation, Swamiji directly gave the permission that you are Shiva, and whenever you need, you just call. Just 911 call. You just call, and everything will be there, and you will realize that. So it happened many times.
Yes, Ma. Ma Meenakshi, do you want to add anything, Ma?
Yes, Ma, we could go on and on, like so many wonderful experiences after having Swamiji in my life. I was raised a devout Hindu, but into adulthood, I couldn't follow Hinduism. But after Swamiji came into my life, it's just slowly. First, I didn't do puja, but I would never miss satsang. And then after my first inner awakening, I can't miss puja. I just, at least a short puja, I just can't miss it. Otherwise, I actually feel just like a headless chicken if I don't do the puja. I feel like it's very, very important to do the puja. I've had a lot of experiences. I've seen Swamiji walking in my house a couple of times, and we've all had the materialization of basma and kumkum, and that vyakulata that Swamiji talks about, and what Sushmita is talking about, that feeling connection is everything. It's a thread in my life, and it really is my life. It defines my life. It's so important. And yeah, so temple is an extension of that.
And whenever we have this, see, recently, I hope everyone is taking the blessing of being in the Bhava Samadhi darshans that Swamiji is giving. Not only is Swamiji giving Bhava Samadhi darshan, he's encouraging all of us to dress up as those deities. So we experience the oneness and the intensity of energy that he is delivering on that occasion, right? Very auspicious Bhava Samadhi darshans. If anybody has not signed up, please make sure that you go and you are signing up for these Bhava Samadhi darshans. One thing I always wondered before I met Swamiji was, how can gods and goddesses actually reside in a temple, right? What does it take for them to be there? And Swamiji has beautifully explained it. And this is one of my favorite videos where Swamiji actually explains that it is their home. Temple is just the home. It's their abode. And it's not just gods and goddesses. The beauty of that space is when you go in with that openness, you come out as divine. You come out as a transformed person. You come out as someone who has experienced the divine. I request the NTV operator to play that video so we can all together enjoy that favorite video and the experience once again. Thank you.
Greatest, not just worship altar or connecting with the divine, gods and goddesses of Kailasa. It used to be the largest, best hospitals, largest, best art flourishing centers, whether dance, music, painting, sculpting, all the best things, and psychological healing centers. All the best things of the life used to flourish from temples. Otherwise, why will our great rishis and great kings, our ancestors, the most intelligent people, will build such large temples? I tell you, Tanjore temple, Tanjavur Brigadishwara temple is still the record unbroken. Unbroken record for last 1,000 years. Nobody is able to break that record. Even to visualize and comprehend that, it took 10 years for me. Still, I have not completely made the master plan. I had the desire that I should build a temple little bigger than that. I am only in the stage of conceptualizing and visualization. It took 10 years for me. With all the latter, this modern day 3D hologram techniques, methods, I'm using computers where I can just imagine, visualize, see anything in 3D. Even with all this modern day technology, it takes 10 years for me to grasp how Rajarajan would have built. But he built, understand the science, it is taking 10 years for me now. And still I have not yet completely finished it. Hindu temples are living abodes of gods and goddesses. Not just worship. Hindu temples are living place of altars, theology training centers, education organizations alone. Or it is not just prayer altars alone. It is living abode of gods and goddesses. That is why once a Hindu temple, the prana pratishtha is done, consecration is done, you can't move it, you can't sell it. The Hindu temple land loses real estate value. It doesn't belong to any more planet Earth or planet Earth's real estate market.
Every one of us can experience that God particle or the God and Goddess in each one of us, right? So all the panel members here have actually attended some of the programs that Swamiji gives, and they're going to share some of their experiences, these kind of high energy, high possibility or high impossibility, however you want to call it, experiences, which will inspire every one of us to go in and check out some of these programs. We still have Paramashivoham online. It is going on. A lot of people are acharyas there. Ma Prematma Swami will talk a little bit about it. Mariyoko will talk about her own experiences in the Paramashivoham. Vilvapati Ayya will explain a little bit about his experience. Ma Meenakshi and Ma Susmita will also explain a little bit about their. It's a wonderful bouquet of sharing of all the treats. We all like to listen to stories, right? Especially experiences. Don't miss this segment. Thank you, Ma. Ma Prematma, you can start with the Paramashivoham and Mariyoko can take over.
Yes. Thank you, Mariyoko, for joining us today. Actually, Paramashivoham is a 16-day a lifestyle program rather than a program that Swamiji has blessed us with, especially since the whole COVID pandemic broke out. And since then, up to today, continuously we have been having the Paramashivoham, an online program for the benefit of all of us around the world, especially this COVID pandemic, how it can be a great opportunity. It is not a curse, but it is a blessing for enlightenment. How a shift is happening, the pralaya is happening. And Swamiji has given this as a gift to use as an opportunity for enlightenment. The Paramashivoham 16-day program, continuously, without break, these programs are continuing. Now we are in 21st season of the Paramashivoham. It's an online program from anywhere, any part of the world you can join, and no prior qualifications are required for this program. If you wonder whether enlightenment is feasible, possible, is it for me, is it too difficult, is Hinduism too complicated, how can I make that as my lifestyle? All of these questions if you have, and even about power manifestation. Are power manifestations real? Is third eye real? Will I be able to, will my third eye get awakened? Will I be able to manifest the powers of third eye? All these questions that we have, even about spirituality, anything from fundamentals to enlightenment itself. Paramashivoham not only gives us the knowledge, but the experience that every single one aspect of Hinduism is not a myth, it is not a superstition, it is a science of enlightenment. And Swamiji gives us that experience. So I'm going to request Mariyoko today to share her experience of how she met Swamiji, how she heard about Paramashivoham, and her experience of Paramashivoham itself.
Nithyananda, thank you so much for having me, Ma.
Thank you, Ma. Please go ahead.
So I found Swamiji, or Swamiji found me in October 2015. And I've been a satsanghi ever since, never missing live or a live satsang every day. And I'm building KAILASA here in the Hawaiian Kingdom. And I only keep saying yes to all of his programs, and that's the only way to do it. And I heard about the Paramashivoham through the satsang. And of course, I said yes, and very fortunate to be able to attend the first 7 seasons straight. And now that it's the 21st season, I'm like, wow, so much has happened for me. But I do encourage people to attend Paramashivoham, especially still the COVID pandemic is still going on. And for me, one of the most beautiful things about Paramashivoham, because I'm a seeker and very selectively social, because I am very conscious on how relationships do impact who I am, and making so many real friends of like-minded people in the Paramashivoham program really brought more life and joy for me. So I invite everyone to attend Paramashivoham. If you've attended before and you can attend again, please attend again. It's definitely very life-changing in every dimension of life, as well as one of the main things is also the completion processes that we're able to go through, and the transformation that has happened for me and my family, because my parents were against me deciding to become Hindu. And so through all the completion processes, my dad supports me. He recently bought me a computer to be able to support my activities in Sangha and contribute that way, as well as just recently as yesterday, my mom agreed to talk every week, just talk about anything. And that was such a huge breakthrough. The other huge breakthrough for my family too was on New Year's Day of this year. We had a family Zoom meeting, and that never happens. So the program and that the blessings that are extended through just how the whole program is, there's not one portion of the program that I can say, well, this, all of it is so important to transform our life, to be living bliss, that bliss with our relationships, having more, or the expansions and the cognitions of higher kinds of relationships. It is, you can't find that anywhere. You can't find that kind of like it really is. We're in Swamiji's lab.
Thank you, Mom. It's such a
I want
sharing.
to 1 minute. I want to put Mariyoko on the spot here. I hope she doesn't mind.
No, I don't mind, of course, Rani.
Because she's really expanded so much. We have a blessing session at the end of our Vakyartha Sadas, and every time she is asking for blessing to build Kailasa nation, to sign treaties with the Hawaiian kingdoms. But I think she should share her superstar with all of us. Our cosmic coconut. Can you share your cosmic coconut?
Okay. I'll share the cosmic coconut.
And tell us what you're using it for, and how you energize people with that. It's a very wonderful way she does it, and we have been demanding a live relay of that, and she's still manifesting that. Yes, Mariyoko, share that, please.
Okay, so I should show everybody the cosmic coconut. I gave my coconut a makeover. I painted him black and I put what is that? Glitter
She's
nail
even
polish.
given him a gender. She's even given coconut a gender. Now we need a name.
It's a cosmic coconut. Well, we'll see. You're right. We should have a name. So
Okay.
this is the coconut I've been using for forever, and was very fortunate to get this when I was staying in the ashram. And this, I use this one all the time. And so for many months,
Power manifestation. Sorry, I think
for
you're,
power manifestation, yeah.
Yes. For the third eye power manifestations.
Yeah, for consciousness over matter. I call it rolling.
No.
And I've been for months, many months, trying to roll with as many people as I can every day, at the same time, with that kind of commitment. And it's gotten to the point where I've been power manifesting 5 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so this coconut, I'm wanting to showcase and do a live Facebook Live event at the Hilos Farmers Market, demonstrating to manifest consciousness over matter. The challenge that is being coordinated is to be able to do the live broadcast. So I'm still in the process of manifesting that. But yeah, and I encourage people to roll their breakfast, because you're literally eating the sparks of Mahadeva and upgrading your DNA that way.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I actually just want to give a little background. The consciousness over matter is one of the powers that Swamiji has initiated through the power of third eye. When the power third eye is awakened, we can manifest various powers. One of them is the consciousness over matter, where any object, a matter, can be moved without us physically with our hand. Just through the power of consciousness, a matter can roll, because it is not a matter after all, it is consciousness also. So that power of consciousness in us, connecting with the consciousness in that matter, actually we can be of oneness, we can move that matter. So this is one power that we have, one of the many powers that we were initiated into, and Marioka is sharing about this power, where we typically start with the coconut. It is easier by placing the coconut on the hand, and when you say you can have the coconut on their hand, and with the power of consciousness, with the power of third eye, you can roll that coconut from their hand without you touching it, without you moving it, or without them moving it. So it is such a beautiful power, one to actually seeing the manifestation happening in front of us, that we see this manifestation is real, that the power of third eye is real. And of course, boosting our own self-confidence, as Swamiji says, when we start manifesting these powers, we don't no longer have to believe that we are Paramashiva. We start to cognize and realize that we are Paramashiva as we are manifesting the Shaktis of Paramashiva. So yes, Ma, please continue.
So one of the reason why I really like the consciousness over matter is because most people end up giggling because they feel him dancing on their hand.
Ryoko uses this consciousness over matter, or demonstrates this consciousness over matter to cause expansion in people and in circumstances, and she's manifested wonderful things in her life just by using this consciousness over matter, just consciously expanding. It's amazing. Yes, Ma. Mariyoko, you can continue, Ma.
Yeah, so I do recommend, for me, because I made the decision, I'm only going to manifest through using that one power, consciousness over matter, everything in my life.
Thank you.
And so, yes, please attend Paramashivoham.
Yes,
thank you, Mariyoko.
So people can register for Paramashivoham at paramashivoham.org. So thank you, Mariyoka, for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you for
Vilapati
having me,
Ayya.
Nithya.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
I should not be
Thank you,
left.
Mariyoka.
Actually, now this is the 21st session, I think. No, so the first session, I was the first batch, Paramashivoham, level 2 session. First session itself, we attended along with my Ma Vijima. See, first time we attended, all 16 days we were engaged during the pandemic period actually. See, Swamiji made everything for me because I retired from services. I don't require any leave at all. And I was kept at home due to the pandemic. So I don't have any work at all. And I'm fully freed to attend Paramashivoham level 2, the session first itself along with my missus. And we had a wonderful experience all the 16 days. And the second session also, I was blessed to continue as a volunteer. So I get to another phase, second session also 60 days. And we enjoyed a lot. And as Ranimas tell, no, that we, we dressed ourselves as, God and goddesses. So we enjoyed that, and we took photographs also, and we enjoyed the Paramashivoham level 2 session 1 itself and level 2 as well. And
Beautiful.
regarding the manifestation, the power manifestation also, we rolled number of times, and we demonstrated. With the phone, with the cell phone only, we demonstrated the power manifestation in the remote sites actually. See, with the video calling, we used to roll the coconut in faraway distance, and they do it also for us. And like that, even I experienced one thing without seeing each other. I simply asked a friend of mine who was not a devotee at all. He was in Trivallur, near the same Trivallur place only. So I asked him, say, I am attending this program. I would like to do a manifestation as Swamiji blessed me to do it. And do one thing what I say. Simply put the coconut on your palm and don't do anything. Simply whatever you wish to pray to your God, do it. And from here, I, with the blessings of Swamiji, do the manifestation.
So you were on a phone. So let's
Yes, only phone.
viewers
No video
understand
calling.
it.
No
You
video
were on
calling,
a
only
phone call with your
Exactly.
friend, and where were you? You were in Chennai?
He is in Trivallur, some
He was
16
in
days.
Tiruvallur. Okay.
Yes, Trivallur. 16 kilometers away. Yes,
Okay.
Trivallur.
And they were on phone. They were talking on phone.
Exactly. And especially he's not a devotee. Particularly he's not a devotee at all. He's a new person.
That's his first experience with the consciousness
Yes.
over matter.
Yes. And I asked him to keep the coconut with him, and I said, don't do anything, don't panic, and don't, afraid of it, be afraid of anything. Whatever may happen, you accept it yourself. And here we prayed Swamiji to do manifestation, and within say 15 to 20 seconds, the coconut rolled down. And he astonished actually. See, I didn't do anything, simply the coconut fell down now. Yes, I did. Swamiji has done through me only. And he is an executive engineer. He's an engineer actually. He was my friend actually. See, as you should know, engineers do logic things only. They believe in logic.
Yeah.
So he couldn't believe that. How did the coconut roll over on my? I simply kept
it's always like that for everybody, right? The first time it happens, it surprises them so much, and they say like, maybe I should do it again. Maybe my hand shook. Maybe something happened. And then when you do it again, they go like, let me try it once again. And then when it happens the third time, they're like, maybe. Right? It's a beautiful experience. All of you should try and join. Not try, absolutely must do at least 2 sessions. I did 8 sessions. I still miss it. If I had the opportunity, I would do it again. This whole fun that we were having, we will join you next week. So until then, let's all attend all the satsangs that Swamiji is giving, all the wonderful energy darshans. Please don't miss any one of them. Go and sign up. And you can also volunteer and do join Paramashiva Ganas. There are so many wonderful things you can do to build the KAILASA Hindu nation. And of course, don't miss doing your puja and energizing your home temples. Very important. Okay. We'll end with Purna Mantra. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Ma Prema.
We will actually Thank you, Ranima. Actually, we will receive Swamiji. We are getting ready to receive Swamiji. So we will go into meditation.
Okay.
So by chanting the Mahavakya. So let us just relax, settle down. As we get ready to receive Swamiji, let us close our eyes, bring our hands together and chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
I welcome you all with my love and respect. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis, Srimahans, Mahans, Thanedar Kotari, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us. With my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message, directly from KAILASA. Listen. Due to my simple love, my own life has manifested as life in all of you. The most precious thing you have is your consciousness, life. It can be molded, manifested as you want just by your Ichcha Shakti. You need Kriya Shakti only to enjoy it, not to manifest it. Listen. What you want can be manifested just by your sheer Ichcha Shakti. Your Kriya Shakti, action power is required only to celebrate it, enjoy it. Let me explain more clearly, more straight. Listen. You want a healthy body to enjoy this world. That can be achieved just by sheer Ichcha Shakti. Sheer Ichcha Shakti is capable of triggering, manifesting Kriya Shakti. Understand? My sweet, simple love to all of you is the reason I am revealing this deep secret, sacred secret. Understand? I am absolutely integrated to my love to all of you. My integrity to my love to all of you. That's the only reason I am coming and sitting here. Otherwise, I have nothing to gain. Just now I got up from my samadhi. Actually, I am taking a very nice tea without milk, with ginger and crambu. I don't know the word for English word for crambu. Usually they use that for teeth pain. If you have a teeth pain, you can just keep that crambu. And with all that herbs, I'm having a nice tea. And my life is extremely peaceful, happy, simple. Krambu, English word is close. I make that as a paste and use for my brushing also. That's paste for me, toothpaste for me. Now I'm taking tea also with that close. My life is extremely peaceful, happy, simple, joyful. You can see very clearly that this Vibhuti marks. Seeing the Vibhuti mark, you can know very clearly. Just now I had the shower and my puja. During the shower itself, I will do my Atmartha puja and whatever. I am absolutely sitting peacefully in my samadhi. The only reason I come and sit here and talk to all of you is my simple love to all of you, my simple integrity to all of you. Listen. One of the biggest problem all human beings feel that they need to do a lot of actions, they need a lot of Kriya Shakti to achieve anything they want, health or wealth or enlightenment or powers. That is delusion. Please understand, you need sheer Ichcha Shakti, means will, desire, that's it. The desire itself is capable of manifesting Kriya, the action power. Listen to these three words. Ichcha Shakti, your desire power. Power to desire, will. Kriya Shakti, power to work intensely and manifest. Jnana Shakti, power of enlightenment, knowledge. See, one of the biggest problem all of you have is your delusion that too much of work is needed to achieve anything. Whether you want health, oh, I have to get up and do yoga, stretch my body. Only then I can have health. If I want wealth, I have to get up and go to office and work like a dog, day and night. Only then I will have wealth. First of all, you don't understand, no dog works. Anyhow, listen. It is actually delusion. Please listen. Your sheer power to desire, Icha Shakti, gives 99% success. 99% means 99.999% success is your sheer desire power, Icha Shakti. Your Kriya, the action power needed is too small, too small. Listen intensely. At least all my disciples listen. When you are terrorized, you will see only frightening negativity all around you. You will lose trust on everything, on Guru, on life, even on yourself. When you fall in love, even your stupid, cheating girlfriend, cheating boyfriend will look like a god. So your opinions are delusion. Don't build your consciousness, your life based on your opinions. Build it based on the true wisdom, true knowledge, right understanding about life. I tell you, listen carefully. I'll give you this one example. I'll take the example of your health. That's the most important thing. So I'll touch that example. You apply this principle in every aspect of your life. I'll give you the example of health. Listen. You always think if you need health, you need to do yoga, gym, diet. Too many things are involved in your health. And the moment you think about all the actions you need to do, you get tired and you give up on your health, your idea about your health. I tell you, only thing you need for your health is your willpower, desire to be healthy. Just go on building that. Imagine you already have a healthy body. How it feels to be a healthy. Beautiful, shining, glowing, happy, youthful, energetic body. I tell you, if the life is infused into your life, consciousness, if life is infused into your consciousness in the form of Icha Shakti, desire, 99.999% of the work is done. Your actions are needed only to enjoy what you want through that healthy body. See, I am not disrespecting Kriya Shakti. Listen carefully. I am not disrespecting Kriya Shakti. I am only saying your delusion about Kriya Shakti puts you in tiredness, boredom, frustration, life negativity. That is what is wrong. Many of my own disciples, I can list, I can name, your sheer delusion, fear, puts you in life negativity, frustration, And due to that frustration, you actually destroy your health and lose your life. I tell you, fill yourself with desire, intense desire for health. Icha Shakti. Icha Shakti is too powerful. Without even your knowledge, it will push you and make you do all your homework, your yoga, your gym, and your diet, everything without even your knowledge. If you are constantly thinking about, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, to keep myself healthy, one day you will go to gym and do some 10 biceps and find out 10 minutes workout, and then you'll see, oh, whether my biceps have become big. You'll be going on checking. Listen carefully. If you infuse Icha Shakti, desire to be healthy, you will see your whole life aligns, cosmos aligns itself beautifully. I am not telling all this to make you as a good human being or better human being. No. If you listen to all this, you will become good human being, better human being. Is different. My interest is not just making you as a good human being or better human being. My interest is to make you conscious human being, enlightened human being, enlightened being. I am telling you, your Icha Shakti, desire power, is intensely capable, powerful to manifest. Your Kriya Shakti is needed only to enjoy what you want. Your Kriya Shakti is not needed to make what you want. Your Icha, your Kriya Shakti, action power, is needed only to enjoy what you want. After you manifest a healthy body, whatever you want to enjoy, you may want to enjoy many things like a tasty food or nice music or beautiful visuals or the taste of the touch, whatever you may want to enjoy. Only to enjoy your action power, Kriya Shakti, is needed. Not to manifest. To achieve what you want, to manifest what you want, your Icha Shakti, desire power, is more than enough. Unfortunately, you have so much of delusion. You are brainwashed so much by mediocre ideas of society. I am telling you, these mediocre ideas keep you away from me. These mediocre ideas make you feel life is difficult. I am not giving you self-confidence, or I am not a self-confidence preacher. I only reveal truths. You may gain self-confidence from these truths, but I just reveal truths, truths alone, because I love you. It is simple logic. I love you too much. When I see each one of you, I see you as a life in whom the real consciousness can be infused, or I see you as a consciousness in whom the life energy can be infused, and the life can really flower in you. Listen, if you had a good sleep and early morning, you wake up peacefully, how fresh you feel. That freshness is called Jagrat state. Like Jagrat, 1,000 times fresh is Turiya state. Like Turiya, billion times fresh, alive is Turiyatita state. And it is so easy to infuse the Turiyatita state into your consciousness, into your Jagrat state. It's as easy as giving Vibhuti to you. As easy as giving you Basma and touching your forehead and blessing you. It is that easy. Listen to these truths. Get out of your delusion. Your fears about tiredness, boredom, frustration, status quo. Why you live in a status quo life? Because you think, oh, nothing can be done. It is all like this only. I am beaten already. I am broken already. Some like a deluded mess. Listen carefully. This one truth, if you drill inside you, you can get out of many of your delusions. Desire power, Ichcha Shakti, your visualization capacity is the most precious, beautiful, powerful, important, needed ingredient, base ingredient for you to manifest what you want. If you create the intense burning desire continuously, that is enough. That is capable enough to wake you up from your bed and push you to the gym, make you do the yoga, make you do your diet. Even if you fail 10 days, it will come back 11th day. Even if you die, you will take one more body, and your desire power is capable enough to manifest it. So understand, desire power is enough to manifest what you need. Listen, I am really sincerely interested in making you as conscious beings. That is why I go on hitting at exact point where you are caught. I'll define laziness. Listen. Living in delusion, not knowing the easiness of life is laziness. There is only two states for human beings, modern day human beings: realizing life is easiness and just manifesting what you want and living, or frustrated laziness, not having enough desire, Ichcha Shakti, is the source for laziness. And all the time beating yourself, saying you don't have enough energy to act, action, Kriya Shakti. Hey. You don't need Kriya Shakti. You need Kriya Shakti only to enjoy, celebrate, not for manifesting. When you start believing the mediocre idea, you need actions, Kriya Shakti, to achieve what you want, you will use this mediocre idea and kill all the Ichcha Shakti, the desire power, and die as mediocre. Die as mediocre. Meditate on this truth. Whether you want to manifest health, mental happiness, wealth, fulfillment, state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, intense desire, visualization, Ichcha Shakti, is enough to trigger everything you need and attract them, assemble all of it in your life properly and manifest it as reality. See, for me to manifest Paramashiva, all I had is intense desire. And the whole cosmos started supporting. Kuppammal, my guru, Mata Vibhutanandapuri, she came in my life. And beautifully, very sweetly, she brought everyone needed in my life for me to manifest Paramashiva. Whether Hamsanandapuri from North India or Raghupati Yogi from Tiruvannamalai or Narayana Swami Tata to teach me the science of Aushadha. She brought everything, everyone. Are the herbs. I have seen in that old age, she will go all the way up to Parvadamalai. Parvadamalai is a small, I should not say small, a nearby village, small village. which is at the foothills of the hill, Parvatagiri. It is said that when Hanuman was taking the Sanjeevani hills to Lanka, from Himalayas to Lanka, along with the Sanjeevi herbs to revive Lakshmana, one part of that hill fell, that is Parvatamalai. And I know for sure that that is true, and that Parvatamalai is full of herbs. She will go all the way and climb those hills, collect those herbs to do aushadha and to make that alchemy process for my body. In Hindu tradition, Mani, Mantra, Aushadha. Through these three, you can achieve powers of Paramashiva. Shaktis can manifest in you. So she used to apply all the three on me, supporting me to manifest Paramashiva. I tell you, the only thing I did is intense desire, Icha Shakti, very strongly. Everything gathered around me. All of you trigger your Icha Shakti intensely. That's all you need. You will see everything is attracted towards you properly and gets assembled beautifully and manifests as your reality. You will simply manifest as reality. உங்கள் எல்லோர் மீதும் இருக்கின்ற நேர்மையான அன்பினால் இந்த பரமசிவ ரகசியத்தை உங்களோடு பகிர்ந்து கொள்ளுகிறேன். தயவு செய்து உள்வாங்கிக் கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையிலே நீங்கள் அடைய விரும்புகின்ற உடல் நலமாகட்டும், மனநலமாகட்டும், பொருளாதார வளமாகட்டும், ஆன்ம ஞானமாகட்டும், இறைநிலையாகட்டும், மோட்சமாகட்டும், இல்லை இனிமையான உறவுகளாகட்டும், அமைதியான வாழ்க்கை, எதை அடைய வேண்டும் நினைச்சாலும் உங்களுடைய ஒரே ஒரு தேவை ஆழமான இச்சா சக்தி, ஆசைப்படுகின்ற, உங்களுக்கு எது தேவையோ அதை கற்பனை செய்து பார்க்கின்ற, உருவகப்படுத்தி பார்க்கின்ற, நன்றாக புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். தயவு செய்து ஆழ்ந்து உள்வாங்கி புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். நீங்க நிறைய செயல்களை செய்து, வேலை செய்து, உழைத்து, கடும் உழைப்பினால மட்டும்தான் எதையும் சாதிக்க முடியும்னு உங்களை நம்ப வச்சாங்கன்னா அது மிகப்பெரிய முட்டாள்தனம்ங்கய்யா. நல்லா ஆழ்ந்து கேளுங்க. இந்த மீடியாக்கர் மைண்டுன்னு சொல்லுவோம், பிரெயின் வாஷ்டு மைண்ட். உங்கள் வாழ்க்கை கஷ்டம்னு உங்களை நம்ப வச்சுட்டா நீங்க முன்னேறதுக்கான முயற்சியே செய்யாம செத்து போயிருவீங்க. இந்த நாத்திக கும்பல் உங்களை அப்படித்தான் நம்ப வைக்கும். இந்த சத்தியத்தை தயவு செய்து உள்வாங்குங்கள். இச்சா சக்தி, அதாவது நமக்கு என்ன வேண்டும் என்று ஆசைப்படுகின்ற, அதை உருவகப்படுத்தி பார்க்கின்ற, விஷுவலைஸ் பண்ற இச்சா சக்தி, கிரியா சக்தி, செயல்பட்டு நமக்கு தேவையானதை அடைவது, ஞான சக்தி, வாழ்க்கையை பற்றியும் உலகத்தை பற்றியும் நம்மை பற்றியும் கடவுளை பற்றியும் எல்லாவற்றையும் பற்றிய தெளிந்த அறிவு. இந்த மூன்றுல நீங்க எதை அடைய வேண்டுமென்றாலும் இச்சா சக்தி தான் அடித்தளம், அடிப்படை, பேஸ் இன்கிரீடியன்ட். ஆழ்ந்து புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். நான் கிரியா சக்தியை குறை சொல்லவில்லை, தவறாக சொல்லவில்லை, குறைத்து மதிப்பிடவில்லை, அதெல்லாம் நான் பண்ணல. ஆனா உங்க இச்சா சக்திக்கே உங்க வாழ்க்கையில தேவையான எல்லாவற்றையும் கொண்டு வந்து ஒருங்கிணைத்து கிரியாசக்தியையும் வெளிப்படச் செய்ய வைத்து நீங்கள் விரும்புவதை வாழ்க்கையாக மாற்றித் தருகின்ற சக்தி இச்சா சக்திக்கே உண்டு. இப்ப பிரச்சனையே வாழ்க்கையில என்னன்னா, நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் இருக்கிற பெரிய பிரச்சனை, இந்த கடும் உழைப்பை பற்றிய பயத்தினால் இச்சா சக்தியையே அழித்து விடுகிறோம். கடும் உழைப்பு மற்றும் வருகின்ற வரப்போகின்ற தடைகள், பிரச்சனைகள், இதையெல்லாம் எதிர்கொள்ள முடியுமா அப்படின்னெல்லாம் இல்லாத கற்பனையான லூசுத்தனமான நாத்திகத்தனமான, நாத்திகம்னா என்ன, எதையுமே நம்பாமல் டிப்ரெஷனையும் பைத்தியகாரத்தனத்தையும் மட்டுமே நம்பி வாழறதா நாத்திகம். அப்சல்யூட் லைஃப் நெகட்டிவிட்டி, அதுதான் நாத்திகம். இந்த நாத்திகத்தனமான மன அமைப்பில் சிக்கி தமிழ் இனமே சீரழிந்தது. தமிழ் இனத்தை சீரழித்தது இந்த மூணு விஷயம்: சாராயம், அளவுக்கு மீறிய காமமும் வன்முறையும், ஆபாசமும் வன்முறையும் சேர்ந்த என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி. என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி பாய்சனா மாறிடுச்சு. மூணாவது, அப்சல்யூட் லைஃப் நெகட்டிவிட்டி லைஃப் பிரின்சிபிளா மாறிடுச்சு. வாழ்க்கை எதிர்ப்பே வாழ்க்கையின் தத்துவமா போயிருச்சு. இந்த மூணு தான் தமிழ் இனத்தை நாசமாக்கியது. ஆழ்ந்து கேளுங்க. எல்லாமே கஷ்டம், எதுவுமே கஷ்டம், எதுவுமே சாத்தியமில்லை அப்படின்ற இந்த கிரியாசக்தி செயல்படுவதை பற்றி உங்களுக்குள்ளே விதைக்கப்படுகின்ற பயம் இச்சா சக்தியையே அறுத்து அழித்து நாசமாக்கி விடுகின்றது. முதல்ல இந்த கிரியாசக்தி செயல்படுவதை பற்றிய பயத்தை விடுங்கள். உங்கள் இச்சா சக்திக்கே நீங்கள் வாழ்க்கையிலே அடைய வேண்டிய அத்துணையையும் கொண்டு வந்து ஒருங்கிணைத்து ஒன்றாக்கி உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையை மலரச் செய்து அளிக்கின்ற சக்தி உண்டு. உங்கள் மீது எனக்கு இருக்கின்ற நேர்மையான அன்பினால் இந்த பிரபஞ்ச ரகசியத்தை உங்களுக்கு சொல்லுகின்றேன். உங்களால் நான் அடைவதற்கு ஒன்றுமே இல்லை. யாராலும் நான் அடைவதற்கு ஒன்றுமே இல்லை. உங்களால் எனக்கு ஒன்றை கொடுக்கவும் முடியாது, என்னிடமிருந்து ஒன்றை எடுக்கவும் முடியாது. உங்களால் எனக்கு ஆக வேண்டியது ஒன்று என்கின்ற ஆசையும் எனக்கில்லை. உங்களால் என்னை பயமுறுத்த முடியும் என்கின்ற பயமும் எனக்கில்லை. நீங்கள் ஓட்டு போட்டு நான் அதிபராகப் போவதும் இல்லை, அல்லது நீங்கள் ஓட்டு போடாவிட்டால் நான் ஓட்டாண்டியாக மாறப்போவதும் இல்லை. உங்களால் எதையும் கொடுக்கவும் முடியாது, என்னிடமிருந்து எதையும் எடுக்கவும் முடியாது. சர்வ சுதந்திரமாக, உங்களிடமிருந்து சர்வ சுதந்திரமானவனாக இருப்பதனால் என்னுடைய நேர்மையான அன்போடு இந்த சத்தியத்தை உங்களுக்கு சொல்லுகிறேன், கேளுங்கள். உங்களுடைய ஆசை உருவகப்படுத்தி பார்க்கும் சக்தி, விஷுவலைசேஷன் பவர், இச்சா சக்தி உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையில் நீங்கள் வேண்டுகின்ற தேடுகின்ற எதை வேண்டுமானாலும் கொண்டு வந்து அதற்கு தேவையான அனைத்தையும் அனைத்து பாகங்களையும் கொண்டு வந்து ஒன்றாக்கி உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையை மலரச் செய்யக்கூடிய சக்தி உங்கள் இச்சா சக்திக்கு உண்டு. நீங்கள் ஒவ்வொருவரும் பரமசிவனின் நீட்சி. நீங்கள் ஒவ்வொருவரும் பரமசிவ பரம்பொருளின் நீட்சி, எக்ஸ்டென்ஷன். நீங்கள் ஒவ்வொருவரும் பரமசிவ பரம்பொருளின் உயிர் பிம்பம், லிவிங் ரிஃப்ளக்ஷன், நாட் ஜஸ்ட் டெட் ரிஃப்ளக்ஷன், லிவிங் ரிஃப்ளக்ஷன். உங்களால் நான் அடையப்பட வேண்டியது ஏதும் இல்லை. நீங்கள் என்னதான் முயற்சித்தாலும் என்னிடமிருந்து எதையும் நீங்கள் எடுத்துக்கொள்ளவும் முடியாது. ஆசை அச்சம் இரண்டாலும் உங்களோடு எந்த விதமான பந்தமும் இல்லாத அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு நபரால மட்டும்தான் உங்களை நேர்மையாக நேசிக்க முடியும். உங்களை நேர்மையா நேசிக்கிறதுனால இந்த சத்தியத்தை சொல்றேன், கேட்டுக்கோங்க. நான் உங்கள் மீது வைத்திருக்கும் அன்பும் நட்பும் மிகுந்த நேர்மையானது. ஒரு சில விஷயங்களை புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. இந்த நாத்திகத்தை கூட ஏன் விமர்சனம் பண்றேன்னா, அந்த நாத்திக கருத்துக்களால் உங்களுக்கு ஏற்படுத்துற உங்க வாழ்க்கையில் ஏற்படுத்தப்படுற பாதகம், குந்தகம், உங்களுக்கு நடக்கிற டேமேஜ், அதை பார்த்து அதனாலதான் இந்த நாத்திகத்தை விமர்சனம் பண்றனே தவிர, நாத்திகர்கள் எனக்கு எதிரிங்கிறதுக்காகலாம் விமர்சனம் பண்ணல. அவர்களை நான் எதிரியாக கருதுவதும் இல்லை. நாத்திகம் உங்களுடைய உயிருக்கும் உங்க கான்சியஸ்னஸுக்கும் எவ்வளவு பெரிய கொடுமைகளை செய்கிறதுங்கிறதுக்காகத்தான் அதை கூட விமர்சனம் பண்றேன். அது என்னுடைய ரியாக்ஷன், அவ்வளவுதானே தவிர அது என்னுடைய மெசேஜ் இல்லை. அந்த விமர்சனம் என்னுடைய மெசேஜ் கிடையாது. நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. என்னுடைய ரியாக்ஷன் வேற, என்னுடைய மெசேஜ் வேற. என்னுடைய மெசேஜ் இதுதான், நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. என்னுடைய மெசேஜ் உங்களுடைய கான்சியஸ்னஸ், உங்களுடைய உயிருக்கு ஆசைப்படுகின்ற அந்த சக்தி, இச்சா சக்தி, விஷுவலைஸ் பண்ணி பார்க்கிற சக்தி, உருவகப்படுத்தி பார்க்கிற சக்தி, அந்த சக்திக்கே நீங்க வாழ்க்கையில என்ன வேணும்னாலும் அதை ஈர்த்து ஒருங்கிணைத்து உங்க வாழ்க்கையோட நிஜமா மாத்தி கொடுக்கிற சக்தி உண்டு. இச்சா சக்திக்கே மிகப்பெரிய சக்தியும் உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையை மலர வைக்கும் சாத்தியமும் உண்டு. எங்கேயாவது ஒரு சில இடங்கள்ல நாத்திகத்தையோ இந்த திராவிஷ கும்பலையோ திட்டுறேன்னா அது ரியாக்ஷன், அது என்னுடைய மெசேஜ் கிடையாது. நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. என் ரியாக்ஷன் வேற, என் மெசேஜ் வேற. ரெண்டையும் பிரிச்சு பார்த்துக்கோங்க. என் மெசேஜ் இதுதான். இந்த நாத்திக கருத்துங்களால, இந்த திராவிஷ கும்பலோட விஷ கருத்துங்களால நீங்க பாதிக்கப்படுறீங்கன்றதுனால ஒரு ரியாக்ஷன் கொடுக்குறேன். அந்த கருத்துக்களை, அந்த விஷத்தை அருந்தி உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையை அழிச்சிக்காதீங்கன்னு. ஆனால் அந்த ரியாக்ஷனே என் லைஃப் கிடையாது. இது நான் எல்லாருக்கும் சொல்றேன். என்னை விரோதியாக நினைக்கிறவர்களுக்கும் சொல்றேன், துரோகிங்களுக்கும் சொல்றேன். நீங்க எல்லாமே என்னுடைய ரியாக்ஷன். எப்பவாவது கருத்து ரீதியாக நீங்கள் மாறுபட்டு போகும் பொழுது என்னுடைய ரியாக்ஷனை, என்னுடைய மெசேஜ், என்னுடைய லைஃப்னு நீங்களாவே மிஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கிற டெல்யூஷனால உங்க லைஃபை நாசமாக்கிக்கிட்டு துரோகிகளா மாறி போனீங்க, விரோதிகளா மாறி போனீங்க. அவ்வளவுதானே தவிர அது என்னுடைய மெசேஜ் கிடையாது. என்னுடைய மெசேஜ் ஜீவன் முக்தியும் ஜீவன் முக்த விஞ்ஞானத்தை நீங்கள் வாழ்வதும் உயிர்ப்பு தன்மையை உங்கள் உயிருக்குள் மலரச் செய்வதும் தான். இந்த உயிர்ப்பு தன்மை உங்க உயிருக்குள்ள உறைஞ்சு போயிருக்கு. அதை உறைந்து போயிருக்கிற நிலையிலிருந்து மலர்ந்த நிலைக்கு கொண்டு வந்து உயிர்ப்பிப்பது தான் என்னுடைய வாழ்க்கையின் நோக்கம். உங்களை ஒரு நல்ல மனிதனா மாத்துறது அப்படிங்கிறது மட்டும் என்னுடைய நோக்கம் இல்லை, உயர்ந்த மனிதனா மாத்துறது. இந்த உயர்நிலைக்கு போகும்பொழுது தானாவே நல்ல மனிதனா மாறிப்பீங்க. கான்ஷியஸா உயர்ந்த நிலைக்கு உங்களை கொண்டு செல்வது மட்டும்தான் என்னுடைய விருப்பம், என்னுடைய நோக்கம். அதுதான் என்னுடைய மெசேஜ். சில நேரத்தில் என்னுடைய சங்கத்தை பாதிக்கிற மாதிரி செயல்களை செஞ்சீங்கன்னா எங்களை டிஃபெண்ட் பண்ணிப்பேன். அது என் ரியாக்ஷன். உதாரணத்துக்கு ஞானசம்பந்த பெருமான் பையவே சென்று பாண்டியர்க்கு ஆகவே நெருப்பை திருப்பி அனுப்பிட்டாரு. மதுரை ஆதீனத்திலே எம்பெருமான் தங்கி இருக்கிறார் ஞானசம்பந்த பெருமான். சில சூழ்ச்சிக்காரர்கள் ஆதீனத்துக்கு தீ வைத்து விடுகிறார்கள். பெருமான் இருந்த அறையை வெளிப்புறமாக பூட்டிவிட்டு உள்ளே தீயிட்டு விடுகிறார்கள். நெருப்பின் வடிவமே பரம்பொருள், பரமசிவ பரம்பொருள், பரமசிவ பரம்பொருளின் நேரடியான அவதாரம் ஞானசம்பந்த பெருமான். அவரை நெருப்பு என்ன பண்ணும்? நாமெல்லாம் அக்னியை வலம் வருவோம். அன்று அக்னி ஞானசம்பந்த பெருமானை வலம் வந்து வணங்கினான். ஞானசம்பந்த பெருமானும் பையவே சென்று பாண்டியர்க்கு ஆகவேன்னு சொல்லிடுறாரு. அப்பவும் பாருங்க, கருணாமூர்த்தி மெதுவா போய் பையவே சென்று பாண்டியர்க்கு ஆகவேன்னு சொல்றாரு. அது போய் ஜுரமாக பாண்டியனை பற்றியது. அது ஞானசம்பந்த பெருமானுடைய ரியாக்ஷன், அவ்வளவுதானே தவிர அது அவருடைய மெசேஜ் இல்ல. எல்லாருக்கும் ஜுரத்தை கொடுத்து இல்ல வியாதியை கொடுத்து அது ஒன்றும் அவருடைய மெசேஜ் கிடையாது. அவருடைய சர்வைவல் அட்டாக் பண்ணும்போது, அவருடைய சங்கத்தை, அவருடைய பீடத்தை, மடத்தை அட்டாக் பண்ணும்போது ஒரு ரியாக்ஷன் பண்றார், அவ்வளவுதான். அது அவருடைய மெசேஜ் கிடையாது. அவருடைய மெசேஜ் என்ன? பரம்பொருள், சிவ பரம்பொருளின் மீது, பரமசிவ பரம்பொருளின் மீது பக்தி செய்வதும், அந்த பக்தியினாலே சிவபதத்தை அடைவதும், சுத்தாத்வைத சுகபோத நிலையில் பரமசிவ பரம்பொருளோடு ஒன்றி இருந்து அவரை தன் வாழ்க்கையின் உயிர்ப்புத்தன்மையாக வெளிப்படுத்துவதும் வாழ்வதும், அதுதான் அவருடைய மெசேஜ். ஞானசம்பந்த பெருமானுடைய மெசேஜ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சிவமும் சிவபக்தியும், அதுதான் அவருடைய மெசேஜ். ஐயவே சென்று பாண்டியர்க்கு ஆகவேன்னு தீயை திருப்பிய பாண்டியன் மீது அனுப்பியது ஒரு ரியாக்ஷன், அவ்வளவுதான். அது மாதிரி நான் எப்போவாவது இந்த திராவிஷ கும்பலையும் நாத்திக கும்பலையும் பார்த்து ஏதாவது ஒரு ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் சொல்றேன்னா அது ஒரு ரியாக்ஷன், அவ்வளவுதானே தவிர அது என்னுடைய மெசேஜ் கிடையாது. இந்த விரோதிகள் கும்பலும் சரி, துரோகிகள் கும்பலும் சரி, என்னுடைய ரியாக்ஷனை என்னுடைய லைஃப்னு நினைச்சு டெல்யூஷன் ஆகி பயந்து மிரண்டு அல்லது இந்த டெல்யூஷன்ல கலங்கித்தான் துரோகிகளாகவும் விரோதிகளாகவும் அவர்கள் மாறுவதற்கு அவர்களே ஜஸ்டிஃபை பண்ணிக்கிறாங்க. இந்த ஒரு சத்தியத்தை மட்டும் ஆழ்ந்து தியானியுங்கள். உடல் நலமானாலும் உங்க வாழ்க்கையில எது வேண்டுமென்றாலும் ஆசைப்படுகின்ற, இச்சைப்படுகின்ற, அதை விஷுவலைஸ் பண்ணி பார்க்கிற அந்த சக்தியே உங்களுக்கு தேவையானதை கொண்டு வந்து நிஜமாக்கி வைக்கின்ற சக்தி வாய்ந்தது. உதாரணத்துக்கு ஹெல்த்தை பற்றி இந்த ஒரு உதாரணத்தை புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். நம்ம எல்லாம் என்ன நினைக்கிறோம்? ஹெல்த் வேணும்னா விடிய காலையில் எந்திரிச்சு யோகா பண்ணணும், ஜிம்முக்கு போகணும், டயட்டில் இருக்கணும், எந்த விதமான கெட்ட பழக்கமும் இருக்கக்கூடாது, ஒழுங்காக சாப்பிடணும், தூங்கணும், அப்போ தான் ஹெல்த் வரும். இவ்வளோத்த செஞ்சு அப்புறம் தான் ஹெல்த் வரும். இவ்வளோத்த எங்கப்பா செய்கிறது விடப்பான்னு ஃப்ரஸ்ட்ரேட் ஆகி விட்டுடுறோம். உண்மையில் அதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே இல்லாமல் முதல்ல ஹெல்த் வேணுங்கிற அந்த இச்சையை, டிசையரை ஆழமாக்குங்க. உங்களுடைய செயல்பாடுகளின் தேவை, கடின உழைப்போட தேவை, இதை பற்றிய பயத்தையே யோசிச்சிங்கன்னா அந்த பயத்தாலேயே ஆசையை அழிச்சிருவீங்க. ஹெல்த் வேணுன்ற ஆசையே அழிச்சு கிவ் அப் பண்ணி ஃப்ரஸ்ட்ரேஷனில் போய் நாத்திகராயிருவீங்க. முதல்ல ஹெல்த் வேணும் அப்படிங்கிற ஆசையை ஆழமாக்குங்கள். ஹெல்தியா, யங்கா, வெல் பில்ட்டா, அழகா, எனர்ஜெட்டிக்கா, இளமையான ஒரு உடம்போட இருந்தா வாழ்க்கை எவ்வளவு இனிமையா இருக்குன்ற அந்த ஆசையை ஆழமாக்குங்கள். அந்த இச்சா சக்தி ஆழமானாலே தானா உங்களை விடிய காலம் தூக்கத்தை விட்டு விழிக்க வைக்கும், தானா யோகா பண்ண வைக்கும், இல்லை ஜிம்முக்கு போக வைக்கும், தானாவே அதுக்கு தேவையான டயட்டை சாப்பிட வைக்கும். இந்த தேவையில்லாத புகை, மது, போதை பழக்கங்களெல்லாம் தானாவே விட வைக்கும். இந்த ஆசைக்கே, இச்சா சக்திக்கே உங்க வாழ்க்கையில தேவையான எல்லாவற்றையும் ஈர்த்து பொருத்தி தேவையில்லாதவைகளை வெளியே தள்ளி உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையை மலர வைக்கின்ற சக்தி உண்டு. அந்த இச்சா சக்தியை ஆழமாக்குங்கள். இச்சா சக்தியை ஆழமாக்கினீங்கன்னாலே லைஃப் பாசிட்டிவா மாற ஆரம்பிச்சிருவீங்க. லைஃப் நெகட்டிவிட்டி எல்லாம் மெல்ட் டவுன் ஆக ஆரம்பிச்சிரும். இதுக்கு தேவையான செயல்பாடுகள் கடின உழைப்பா தெரியாது. நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்குங்க. பர்செப்ஷன் தான் வாழ்க்கை. கடின உழைப்புன்னு ஒன்ன முடிவு பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னா அதை சத்தியமா செய்ய மாட்டீங்க. உலகத்துல கடின உழைப்புன்னே ஒன்று எதுவும் கிடையாது. இந்த பிரபஞ்ச ரகசியத்தை, பரம ரகசியத்தை புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். இச்சாசக்திக்கே நீங்கள் நினைத்தவற்றை ஈர்த்து, ஒருங்கிணைத்து, உயிர்ப்பித்து உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையாக மாற்றும் சக்தி உண்டு. So with this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhatvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and KAILASA of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. The eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
KAILASA is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuous. KAILASA is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything.
A great enlightened civilizational nation, created for the purpose of reviving an enlightened ecosystem. Become a part of KAILASA. Become a e-citizen by registering for your e-passport at join.kailasa.org. Thank you. Nithyanandam. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.